Hey everybody, Customikes here at the exciting Lions Museum featuring our host, Fireball Lawrence. And it's going to introduce the whole team. We are actually at the entrance where you would come in to the museum where when their grand opening coming later this fall. And more about that later. But Fireball, please introduce our guests.
As you guys may have seen in the past, we've done the Peterson Museum, a number of things. We wanted to give you guys a tour of something unique in a way that you wouldn't, the average person wouldn't necessarily get to. So I made a call to this young lady over here. This is Lana Christman of the Lions Dragstrip and Museum, and you said yes. You said it was okay to come over here and cause a ruckus.
Oh, absolutely. We love to be able to share. As everyone knows, we've been closed during COVID, and we're hoping to be open up where we'll find out maybe today when we'll be able to open. But we want everybody to enjoy the museum, the beautiful cars. So we're absolutely happy that you guys are here.
So all the time that it's been down for COVID, has there been someone in here polishing cars?
We do. We have people in here every week polishing, keeping the cars clean, and we've had a lot going on. Our team's been building new cars that we're hoping to feature at the end of the year and next year, and hopefully have them at shows, as well as new construction going on. So we're expanding the museum.
So we're going to see some things that you haven't shown anybody yet.
Correct. Yes. Behind the scenes.
That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, sweetie. We'll come back to you. So we got our team of interesting people here today. We always try to bring in some unique people for you guys. Am I too close for this?
No, you're good.
I'm good? Okay. Tommy Scalera from Car Show Safari. If you guys haven't been to carshowsafari.com, because if you want to know shows that are happening in Southern California, this is the man right there. Ken Vela from Wicked Customs, a master builder and all-around MC to the stars, as they say.
And the moon.
And the moon.
And the moon.
Yeah, see, did you hear that? Wow. Why is everyone taller than me? I don't understand this.
Sorry.
Yeah. For those of you who are diecast fans, you'll recognize this young man's face. This is Larry Wood, Mr. Hot Wheels himself, who has joined us. You said that you're the only person that has more cars than Rick over there in this museum, but they're all
64 scale.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I come to these kind of places to get ideas all the time.
Yeah. Have you figured out a way to get inside one of those yet?
No, but they're cheaper, that's for sure.
Joff Van Bouw, an amazing illustrator and artist, also an Art Center alum, great friend. And are you gonna pick one of these cars and take them home?
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah. Good luck with that. My friend Tony Dow, you guys might remember from Leave It to Beaver. Tony's been a car guy for a long time. Porsches.
Porsches and Corvette. Yeah, my Corvair, of course.
Yeah. Is there any Corvairs or Porsches here?
Corvairs, but we don't have a lot of foreign cars here.
Yeah, so Corvairs.
You can have mine if you don't have a Corvair.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna walk around and if you get lost, we'll find you at the Corvair.
At the Corvair.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Rick, head Grand Poobah at this place.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, give us a quick snippet of the history when this place started.
This particular building had started about 17 years ago when we moved in here, and then started converting a warehouse into a showroom. And it started with this section, and we just kept adding sections onto it.
But the Lions Dragstrip, how long has that been here?
It's been 2 years that we've had that done.
Yeah, about
2 years. Yeah. And now we're building out alongside that for a banquet room and some honoring Ascot, Long Beach Marine Stadium, and some of the desert. Where hot rods started out on the desert really back in the day.
There's so much to see here.
Yeah, this is our Southern California car culture, and that's what we're focused on here.
Yeah, we're going to do it live, but it's going to last about 24 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome.
Pep Williams, what's up, my man?
What's up, brother? How's
So
it going,
we
man?
went and did the Peterson, which was kind of more hoity-toity cars.
Yeah, this is very different. This is very specific.
Yeah.
You know, compared to the others, but I'll take them all.
Yeah, you can have them all. Rick is right next to you, so you know the world is your oyster. Scotty Martin, photographer, also you go to like every car show in Southern California, which is pretty massive. But you said your record is 14 shows in one weekend.
Yeah, and 8 shows in one day, which is even crazier.
Yeah. So how much time do you spend on the road?
Well, people usually say, how long do you actually stay at the shows?
Yeah.
and it's usually too long because I find somebody and they want to talk to me, and then I got to
Yeah.
go.
It's not like a drive-by shooting.
No,
No.
it's definitely not.
Okay. All right. Thank you, man.
There's one more thing, too, we
Yeah.
need to do.
Yes.
He is also an editor for Neuro TV in Italy.
Oh.
I am.
Yeah.
So I wanted to say hello to Roberto and Docs and Fra and everybody else in Italy. Ciaos.
Yeah. I don't think there's going to be any Fiats here, though. Probably not.
We have
Yeah.
one,
So-
though.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh, you do?
Not here, but we have a Jolly.
We have a Jolly. You have a Jolly there.
Jolly, yes.
Great. Great. All right.
Well, welcome.
Tell me your name so that these guys know.
I'm Rob Marchese with the Lions Museum here, and I've been with Rick 17 years since the beginning.
Wow.
And I had the pleasure of, with him, putting this all together. And it's been quite an experience, a great man to work for, and it's a great company. He and his daughter, and we're still growing.
Well, we all should be so lucky to be able to do what we love for a living.
That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Truly blessed.
And then she thinks she's going to get away, but she's not. Lauren Dow, Tony's wife, is standing over there, does not want to be on camera. But I'm going to get you because you look so cute sitting over here all by yourself. Oh, she's like, I don't want to be on camera, but you are now. Look, see, it happened. Nothing you can do. Now she's really mad at me. Tony,
I'm not mad.
she's going to go hang out with you at the Corvair.
Right, she's allowed
Yeah.
to talk.
What? You said that you went to the Lions Dragstrip when you were a kid.
Yeah, I grew up in Long Beach.
Yeah.
Went to Wilson High School.
Wow.
My boyfriend had a '53 Chevy.
Yeah.
And
So you
we
traded up.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Anyway,
Yeah. Well, I just want to come
so
over
the-
and embarrass you a little bit.
we're going to actually see the strip.
Are we going to see the strip, Rick? Are we going to go out to the strip?
Oh, you betcha.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
We're racing today.
You betcha.
Yeah. You're driving.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. So we're going to loop around this direction with the team. Is there anybody I missed? Did I miss anybody? I think we're good. Me? Yeah, you guys know me. I'm Fireball. And, I love cars. I don't know what to say in every way, shape, or form, whether they're die-cast. We do Die-Cast Heroes magazine, whether they're coloring books, which is what we focus on, and movie cars.
we
So
have the
you guys know
Corvair
me.
Spider here.
And then, of course, behind the camera is Michael, the man himself. Yeah, you guys know him. So anyway, I'm grateful you guys are going to spend some time with us walking around the museum. We do this live because I want you guys to feel the authenticity that we're experiencing right now. If one of us trips and falls over, if one of you guys pick your nose or something like that, we're going to get it. Yep. So let's.
Peter's favorite
We're not
cars.
editing.
Corvair
So
and the Pinto.
let's walk around. It's overwhelming. I know a lot about some of these cars, but there's some things I don't know that much about. Rick, you have a huge amount of Willys here,
We
right?
do. We have about 49 Willys in our collection,
Wow.
along with everything else. 40 Ford.
Is that something that you're particularly passionate about? Because
Yeah,
it's
yeah. I bought my first Willys in 1960,
Yeah.
which we still have here.
wow, the very first
And
one.
that kind of started.
Is that the one we're going to start today?
No, it's right next to the one.
Okay.
It doesn't run. It hasn't run since '63.
So you bought some other ones that run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have some other
Okay.
ones, and we're building some as well.
Yeah, but the amazing thing about this place is it really takes thematics to a new level. I was a designer at Walt Disney Imagineering, and our job was to create worlds. And the amazing thing about the reason I love this place so much is that you have spared no expense at adding the details, so that you really experience a time that because I wasn't around in the 50s. I have to listen to the stories from you guys, and the most I get is like watching American Graffiti or looking at some of this stuff. And it's amazing that you guys have spent the time to do the murals and the storefronts and everything is done so well. You have to have a certain level of passion.
Kind of where my dad had a Texaco gas station back in the 40s and 50s, and that's kind of where I started into cars and viewing, looking, and all that. So we've reproduced that here. Next door to it was a Foster Freeze, which we used to hang out in. But
Is there still Foster still around?
yeah,
Is it?
they're still around. Yeah.
We might have to go and find that for lunch, maybe.
There's one in Wilmington.
Is there?
That's where it all started for us.
Well, truth be told, I got lost 3 times on the way down here with Tommy and the Dows. We're lucky we made it. So I'm not even sure where I am at the moment. I've been here before, but it was a circuitous route that I think we visited all of
I
Long
remember
Beach.
seeing that on your show. Yeah, where are we going? We're going to a museum.
Right. So we're going to enter into this first hall here that I seem to recall the last time I was here, there was a lot of Willys in here.
Yes.
And you guys have moved a lot of stuff around.
Yeah.
But I see a couple of movie cars over there also. Give me an idea of the process that you go through, when you're looking for a new car or you get an idea about, I think we need to add something to the collection here.
Well, I usually get with Rob, who's really the director of all this.
Yeah.
And cars that we always wanted to have, in our childhood or liked. That's really what this, we make cars that fit our, culture.
This one here looks to me like a Ford console. Is that what that is?
50 Ford.
50.
1850, yeah.
Right. I remember Corgi that made the die-cast. That was their first car.
Oh, really?
Is they made one of these as their first car when the company first started.
Except that one has a 427 Ford in it.
Is there anything in here that's not slightly modified?
Oh yeah, there's some stock ones.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay.
Look at the 50 Mercury.
Yeah. Yeah.
Totally original, untouched.
Wow.
Probably the only one around because most of them get chopped up and.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm going out to see Gene Winfield on the 10th of this month, and you don't want to send your car there if you don't want it coming back looking like
something else.
It's been pancaked and everything else, right?
With the glass roof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just so many interesting things. Pep's already way ahead of us, filming his own deal. There's some great movie cars over here.
Yeah. Of course, we have the Batmobile.
Yeah. Now, do we know which version that was? Because I know that the Barris has sold one, and then they had a second one that they brought to our museum.
Rob, do you have any information on the Batmobile?
What's that?
I know that one was built after the series.
So is this one of the originals, or is this a replica?
It's one of 10 built, and it's Barris authenticated, which
Okay.
I can show you here. The badging's on the fender.
Okay.
And they built 10 of them. This is the 66 model,
Right.
and you see it on the marking, the Barris crest on the car there.
Right. So this was
exactly how the 66 car was.
right. So the original series didn't have fluorescent paint; it was red.
It was red.
Yeah. Yeah. Very nicely done, though.
And you see inside of it, it's got all the correct.
Oh yeah.
If you care to get in it, you can.
Well, I'm going to put our audience in there. What's it like to be inside the Batmobile, guys? Just don't press any of the buttons because it'll probably eject all of us out of the museum.
You gotta like the phone. The phone's unique.
Yeah.
When I did the 118th Batmobile, we scanned the original Batmobile, and it had a Lincoln engine in it. And of course, the engine compartment was junk. So I told George, I said, George, I can't do this engine compartment. Most people want to look in the Batmobile, so he let me put a turbine engine in it. So when you open the hood of the repo or 18 scale, it's got a turbine.
So what was the first Hot Wheels Batmobile?
Oh,
Do you know what year that was?
Which one would that have been?
Because the show came out in '66,
Yeah.
and then Hot Wheels started in '68.
69.
69.
Yeah, I don't know if we actually did any Batmobile until this one.
Right.
Once we did this one, we did a bunch of the earlier ones.
Right.
So
Do you remember what year that you did this one?
Oh, it was fairly late. It was probably only 10, 15 years ago.
Oh,
Because like I
interesting.
say, we scanned it.
Yeah,
I mean, we dulled it down. We put stickers all over it so the scanning machine would read it because it was black,
Yeah.
And then the dash and everything, we had everything. We had a phone in there you could pick up and everything.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
And so, of course, you can get the Batmobile in die-cast in almost any scale now. Yeah. Great stuff. And then, of course, we have the troublemaker over here. Seems to be, big trouble because of the flag nowadays. But, I'm of the mindset that, it was a movie car, represented a certain film and a certain time, not necessarily a philosophy. I think that it's, if you think about Batman, he's a vigilante going around, killing people, and that's not necessarily positive.
Yeah.
So these guys were basically, running from the law.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, but a good example, they destroyed so many of these cars
A
for
bunch,
that
yeah.
show. I'm surprised there's that many left.
This one's actually signed by John Schneider
Oh,
on the
awesome.
dash.
Yeah.
He's the one that turned us on to this car.
Great
And
stuff.
it's pretty authentic.
Can you hear the horn, guys? Does anyone not know what this horn sounds like? Yeah, there you go. There you go.
One more time, please.
One more time. Yeah. Yeah. What is that? What is that sound from? What is that from? And then, of course, we have Kit over here from Knight Rider. Another great film car, very iconic, and I think that Kit's voice is probably just as memorable as
I think
as the
so,
horn.
yeah.
You know, the interesting thing, you know, because my background is movie cars, and I've designed cars for a long time for film, and when you design a movie car, you're basically designing a character, much like picking Dwayne Johnson for a movie.
Yes.
You go, okay, there's a guy that's described in the script as being like this, and you think, oh yeah, Dwayne Johnson, he's big, bulky, and knows how to act compared to
knows
some.
how to act,
Yeah.
yeah.
But movie cars are the same way. A lot of times, you know, when I did the Batmobile for the 1989 film, and the only way it was described in that script was it's big and it's black, and it has wings on it. That was the only description that they had for that car. So you really have to kind of come up with an idea.
Like they described the super bird there. You know,
Yeah.
It has a wing on it.
It has a wing on it. That's it. That's all they said. What is this here?
This is a tribute. We sponsor a foundation called Honoring Our Fallen. And they have an office here in the building. And we built this for them. This has all the names of those since 9/11
Wow.
that died on it.
Wow. Incredible.
And they take this to events. And
Yeah. Look, get a close-up, Mike, on the hood ornament that's up there. That's pretty amazing.
Great, yeah.
If they were going to bring anything back from the past cars, I think hood ornaments
yeah,
is something that they should
would
bring
be,
back.
It should be a collection by itself. huh?
Yeah, exactly. Is there anything with modern day cars that you think is missing that used to be in these cars?
Yeah, modern day cars all look alike.
Yeah.
You know, in some way.
Yeah.
Older cars were very distinctive. You could
Yeah.
easily pick out what car is what.
Sure.
You know, nowadays you don't.
Yeah, I'd like to take an Infiniti, a Nissan, a Cadillac, a BMW, all of these cars that are all four-door sedans, take all the badging off, and then test people.
Yeah, test. Yeah.
Yeah, because they look very, very similar. Yeah,
Mass production.
yeah. There's a couple of Willys. Is this your original car?
That's the original Willys.
Look at that.
That's the original. Still got
Wow.
the original engine in it. Sitting there.
Nowadays, it's hard to ever find a Willys that has a motor that looks like that. Now they all look like this.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, same motor there that here. Well, this is an Oldsmobile. That's a Chevy, big block.
And is this the one you're going to start for us?
That one right
Yeah, the purple one. Okay.
there. Ready for this?
Yeah, I think we're ready.
Okay.
We went from the horn to this. Don't try this at home, folks. Yeah, you should try it at home. It says Larry. Amazing. It's so clean. Wow. And the best thing is that's the EV model, right? That's the electric Willy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're building one of
Just
those.
a speaker on the. You're building one of those? An electric Willy?
Yeah.
I think that's great.
Yeah, that'll be another trip for you.
Yeah,
when you get that done.
exactly. Look at this beauty over here. You know, I always thought there's kind of two kinds of shows. There's a money show where guys will go buy their Lamborghinis and they'll drive it straight to a show.
Yeah.
And then there's the guys like us that appreciate the stuff that's custom.
Yeah.
And I consider all these to be pieces of art. These are Mona Lisas.
And we do too.
Yeah.
And they are pieces
Right.
of art. Yeah.
Which is why they belong in a museum. The paint on this is
We
extraordinary.
called it root beer.
Is it a you know how they used to have scratch and sniff? Is this like a wipe and lick? Like a root beer?
Okay.
Wouldn't that be great? Yeah. Does it smell like root beer? I don't know. It should. But you know that it is deep. Who do you know who makes this paint? This color?
Rob? Sure, right here. Who makes this?
Do you know who makes this root beer paint?
Yeah, actually, our painter Greg Morrell did that. He's Custom Mix.
Oh, it's Custom Mix.
Custom Mix, yeah, Brett Beer Brown.
Wow.
The car's been chopped,
Yeah. Yeah.
obviously lowered. It's a big block Chevy engine. It's a
Incredible.
39-year model.
Stunning. You know, it's like you could go to a show with Tri-5s, all Tri-5s, and every single one of them is different. And every single one is a different expression of people's
Yes,
tastes and
they're-
colors
yeah,
and everything
exactly.
else. And it's just neat. You can't go to these shows and say I don't like that. You go and you just these kinds of guys respect the fact that everyone tried stuff.
Right.
Guys have blackened them all out, even the chrome.
Yes.
Pink, purple, green, you know, every color you can imagine.
Well, this is actually a made car. It started out a 4-door sedan. They turned it into a 2-door,
Right.
chopped the top, and did a rear door treatment to it, made it into a sedan delivery.
Yeah, the striping is fantastic too.
It's a full custom build. People love this. They come here. The silhouette of this car is just fantastic.
And it's a 39 Willys.
It's a 39,
The only Willys that had that kind of front end on it.
right?
With
Called
the
it
bug eye
called it
front
the
end.
shark nose.
Yeah.
Jeff Stiles or Johnny Martinez, if you're watching right now, check out the striping, baby.
You got a hit on this one here.
Yeah, I just asked him if it tastes like root beer. If you're a root beer fan, your choice is to either paint your car in this
You know,
root
we
beer color
have
or have some River
Von
City
Dutch
soda.
stuff, don't
There you
we?
go.
Yeah.
Add some ice cream.
And some
Make it
ice
float.
cream. Make it afloat.
Talk
Exactly.
about this one here. This is his daughter's truck. We built this.
We built for my daughter.
Okay.
It's a 42 Willys pickup.
We call it
Okay.
True Blue.
I'm going to sit in this one. Can I do that?
You go ahead.
Okay. Make sure I don't have my switchblades or syringes in my pocket or anything like that.
She does drive it in all the shows.
Oh, wow. Spectacular.
Flames on it, you're good to go.
See, it is a problem if you're building something and trying to figure out what color combination and all the mods, it is really tough because it's infinite. It really comes down to your own creative process, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, Larry, when you go through that with Hot Wheels, let me hop out of here. When you guys are doing a Hot Wheels that's representing a car like this, you know what's the process because you're determining the first version of this car if you have a new cast or something like that. How do you guys determine what color to do something like that?
Yeah, that
Well, the
is.
colors,
I mean, if it's
if it's a
this
basic
much,
car, we only have X amount of colors
Right.
to
My
work
daughter
with.
didn't like
If
it.
it's a red line club or a special car, we can start it going nuts. We started a group called the graphics group, and they do the colors and the graphics on the cars.
Yeah.
The designers do the cars, and then the group does the graphics.
Yeah, it's interesting because Hot Wheels right now is doing custom cars and allowing the public to choose all the different mods and the colors.
Gets people involved.
Yeah, yeah. That's how strong the community is for Hot Wheels. And there's two ways to look at this. You can say that Hot Wheels are scale versions of these cars, or these are full-size versions of the Hot Wheels.
There you go.
That's right.
We like that.
Yeah, I kind of like
Yeah.
that one. And of course, we have a bunch of die-cast over here.
Oh, yeah, I see a couple in there.
Is there any of your stuff in there? Hey, Rick, can we step over and look in here? Come here, Larry. Let's see if we can spot a couple of your cars in here. Undoubtedly, there's a lot.
Yeah, the main thing a lot of these are, but the 2 black boxes are mine.
Okay.
Yeah, and I just happen to have the Stone Woods and Cook car.
He's got a car in his pocket. Hold on. He wouldn't be Larry Wood if he wasn't walking around with a Hot Wheels in his pocket.
It's a Stone Woods and Cook car.
Look at this.
Oh boy!
Look at that.
I knew somebody would come here and want to see that one.
Wow.
You got to have that.
That's the same color as.
Yep, and look at the grill. That's the main thing.
That's
Right?
Yeah.
And it's all original wood. And I'm gonna show you inside of it. Came from Napa Valley. Wow. It was originally purchased. It's one of 5 originally built. There are only
Come on
5.
over here. He'll sneak in behind you.
Well, they only made 5.
Never really went into production, but we have the original artwork.
Yeah.
You'll see on the wall behind her, where they were planning on building this right before the war, but never went into production. This is one of 5 of them.
So, do you know where the other ones are?
A few of them.
Yeah.
There's 2 of them we found here. The red one, remember?
Mm-hmm.
It was in Fullerton, and another one underway, but rare's hen's teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Amazing. We just celebrated Ed Iskandarian's birthday, 100th birthday. And do you guys know Gary Wales? Gary builds some very unique cars.
Yes.
And he brought a car in that was 101. It was the only thing in the show that was older than Ed.
That's quite a statement.
Yeah. There's just so much in a museum like this because look at
Look at the lines.
it's incredible. Mike, come over and check out this.
This has an injected small block Chevy in it. You can see on this side here.
Larry's just pointing out, the design language here of how all this comes together. Stunning sculpture.
33?
No, it's a 36.
Yes. Oh, 36. Yes.
36.
Yeah.
You come around this way, you can see it's got a injected small block. It's EFI converted. It's electronic fuel injection, but it's original Hilborns.
Wow. Incredible.
But that's pure design right
Yeah, it really is. That's spectacular.
This was
So, a lot of times in Hot Wheels, the things are so tiny that you can't really necessarily capture some of these things. Things like a detail like this,
But you got to get it right. If
Yeah.
you don't get it right, it's not the right car.
Right, right.
This car here was a Willys Chevrolet combination prototype in 1953. They built it.
Wow.
Never got produced. It's just a prototype. And you can see the Chevy Willys.
Yeah.
You can see the Chevy influence
Yeah.
on the side.
For sure.
Taillights are like a Corvette. Front end's more like a Willys. But
Yeah.
Willys went out of business in '53, just when they introduces a prototype with Chevy.
And that's beautiful, and I would
It is beautiful
think
car.
that would be successful because in a way it's almost a scaled down version of some of the bulkiness of the Tri-5s and the Cadillacs and things like that. I could see that driving up and down PCH. In fact, if you ever want to get it out on the road and drive up PCH, you let me know.
Okay.
Okay, because
All right.
I think we'll do that.
Was that going to be sold through Willys or Chevrolet?
I don't know.
Oh, interesting.
'Cause
They
it
wouldn't have
was
done
a-
it if they hadn't planned on where they
Was
were.
there only one of these?
Yeah.
You think this
that's
is the
it.
only one? Wow.
Found this in a garage up in Pasadena.
Talk about barn find. If I could give you the keys to any of the ones that we've seen so far, what would it be?
Periwinkle,
Periwinkle. Which one?
when he started
Yeah.
up.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, it's the one it's kind of the one that really reflects you as a human car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the color, too, is kind of,
Yeah. It's
This,
manly.
This is our original truck that the company started with back in '61, and our first forklift.
Did you think that at some time when you were driving the truck around, just doing what you do, that it would end up being part of the museum?
Yeah, I had no idea.
This is interesting trivia. I had a forklift just like this one.
Tow motor, really?
Yeah, it came out of the Richmond warehouse, and it had an 18-foot tall ram.
Ooh.
It was an incredible piece of it. It would lift anything.
Wow.
Yeah.
But it's kind of silly to see.
That's
one
going to
right
be
here.
the new collectability. Is that people are going to stop collecting cars and collect forklifts.
Stuff.
Yeah, there's more things you can do with
Yeah.
it, you know. And of course, we got some bread vans. That one is a UPS truck. Original UPS, right? Is that what this is?
So they also
United
used
Parcel,
it
yeah.
at UPS.
How many of you
This
knew
truck was
that
back in New
UPS
York.
stood
Oh, you
for
did that
United
one.
Parcel
Oh, that
Service?
was in New York.
Yeah, that's when
UPS, I didn't know that.
that was back in the teens, wasn't it? When they
Anybody-
30s? 30s.
Yeah, you smell bread? Yeah.
They used to just move right between.
And look at
department
these
stores in
T-birds.
New York.
Wow. This is probably one of my favorite rooms in here because, you know, with the film cars, the last time I was here, this whole space was filled with movie cars, and you guys have switched it up. There's still some we're going to go check out over there. But this idea of this full-size theater and the stores, it's such an amazing ecosystem here. What was the impetus for this idea?
Well, we just wanted to recreate what it used to look like, and I think that some of the, you know, the barber shop and the hobby shop.
Yeah, the hobby shop's got original AMT and what is it, monogram models in there?
Sure,
Yeah,
yes.
Revell models. You guys remember those?
And then, of course, we had the arcade next to it, which,
Yeah.
you know, this is all 50s stuff,
Yeah.
50s, 60s.
Yeah. We got a Bullet Mustang, original Bullet Mustang here, which I think the actual original one sold at, was it Bear Jackson, the original one just sold?
I think so.
Like
for a lot of money.
4.5 million or something like that?
Yeah. Now that's a replica of the Thelma and Louise T-Bird.
Oh, that's
that
right.
they drove off the cliff.
Yeah, yeah, that would be hard to restore that.
That
original
would be
one.
hard, yeah.
The car already looks pancaked, but I think it probably was worse than that. Are we going to come back through here, or we're going to go out there, and are we going to come back?
Yeah, we'll come back to
Okay,
it.
so we can hit these on the way out. Okay.
Now you're entering the Lions Dragstrip area.
Right. I figured that MC Ken Vela would be hanging out next to the buggy since that's what he's building next. Look at this. Doesn't that get you excited, the rainbow metal flake? And
Suppose that was molded in?
That's the original, original color. Of course, it's the original Dune Buggy.
Yes. You see
Now,
this outside.
this wasn't here the last time I was here.
This was the actual grand opening was the Lions Dragstrip Museum. So this was
Maybe just the cars were rearranged. And,
well,
yeah.
this is a parking lot right now because of new construction.
Right.
So a lot of these cars weren't in here, but the drag strip was here and all the painting and the showcases with all the legends, that was here.
Yeah. Wow. Incredible. There's so much to see. So if you come to Lions, if you're fortunate enough to come out to Southern California, I'd recommend Disneyland is a little place that some people go to from time to time. If you've ever heard of Disneyland, but I would highly recommend that you hit at least 3 good, solid museums. Number 1 would be Lions Dragstrip. Number 2 would be the Peterson, and of course, shamefully, I'm going to say the Murphy Museum, our museum up in Oxnard, which we would love to have
Very
you come
nice.
up
Very
there.
nice.
It's a little hole in the wall compared to this, but it's we love it, and we do a lot of fun stuff with it. But the best thing about this place is that you can come here 20 times and still never see it all. There's so much detail, and then there's some really weird stuff. What is that? 1957. Rick, what is this thing?
What is it? It's a...
Ladare, it was a kit car in 1957. It's on a VW Pan, and it's Corvair powered. But it was a kit made in Long Beach, California.
It's Corvair powered. Get Tony over here.
Yeah.
And this was actually built in Long Beach.
The Ladare company.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really interesting. Larry, have you seen this? You got to check this out. I think he would appreciate this. Joff, check out this. From car designer standpoint, a lot of interesting stuff here. Very muscly, with tendons and things like that. And Starbucks logos, which are cars and
This is one of the kit cars?
This is one of
Kit
the
car, it's a Ladare.
a Lagare of 1957.
Like Willwood built a bunch of these, didn't they? The kits back in the day, too. What's the chassis? Oh.
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 It's a VW, 57 VW.
And Corvair powered.
Did a good job.
Yeah, great stuff.
That's another
There's a
iconic
Pinto over
Humvee.
there, Joff.
We just found that.
There's a Pinto. Joff likes weird cars. Don't you like weird cars, Joff?
Weird cars and rare cars, and you never see Pintos anymore. Right?
No, that's because most of them exploded.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah, you can go up and you can just like slap them on the rear bumper and boom, off they go.
No. You can do that.
Yeah, right. I can
I'll
do
watch.
that. Yeah, right. But Joff has a DeLorean. You have a 944?
A DeLorean, a 924,
24, yeah.
and a little Honda.
Little Honda.
Yeah.
But he's check out. Tell me your website, Joff.
Oh, it's called carbureted.com.
Right. You can see some of Joff's work there. Incredible illustrations of some really weird cars,
weird cars.
Avantes and things like
Absolutely.
that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's what goes on in this guy's brain freaks me out sometimes. But yeah, I don't want to know. Dragsters, yes.
Talk to Carl Olson. He's familiar with these cars.
Hey, Carl?
Carl, I was told that you know a little bit about drag racing.
Yeah, a little bit.
Just a
here and
little bit?
there,
That's pretty good because I know like zip. So you're talking to the right guy. So tell me, is there anything particular you can tell me about that's close by here?
Well, this particular car was built in around 1961 or so, and I served as a crew member on this car when it competed regularly at Lions Dragstrip and other drag strips around Southern California. Typical front-engine, top-fuel dragster running on a combination of alcohol and nitromethane, supercharged.
That's usually me.
fuel-injected.
That's usually how I get around.
That's how I get around every day. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be here. But it kind of all evolved from here, and I ended up driving top fuel cars myself, both front engine and rear engine, and pretty much grew up at Lions Dragstrip. I attended my first event there in 1957 as a 13-year-old.
Wow.
And as time went on and the close came, I was fortunate enough to win Top Fuel Eliminator at the last drag race at Lions, which has kind of been described as the Woodstock of drag racing.
Wow.
An amazing event.
And what year was that?
1972, December 2nd.
Wow. So you were the last guy across the finish line.
Well, no, technically the guy I beat was the last guy.
Yeah. I had to be careful. I said that and I thought, wait a second, that doesn't make any sense. You were the last winner.
I was, yes.
Yeah.
And one of the moments of great pride in my racing career, for sure, a night that I'll never forget.
Yeah. Did you think that that you'd be standing here right now with this kind of history when you were there?
No. Lions was a fabled place. It was kind of the Camelot of drag racing, unlike any other drag strip ever. I never imagined, though, that somebody like Rick would come along and recreate the feeling that existed there, which was very unique in all of motorsports. And I just want to say that it's an honor and a privilege for me to serve on the board of directors of this foundation so that we can perpetuate the history of what a wonderful place it really was.
So if you had one word to describe Rick, what would that be?
Amazing.
Not too bad.
Whoa.
Way to go. Way to go. Wow. It's overwhelming, some of these. Look at this, the fuel tank's in the front. What is up with that? That's crazy.
That's
just for ease?
That's for use, yes.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of a helicron? A helicron was something that Dennis Gage showed me about, because we do coloring books. We just did a coloring book with Dennis. And helicron was a car that was propelled by a propeller up front. So it's basically a plane without the wings. And you could drive it around and supremely dangerous, horribly dangerous. But, in a car like this, I guess your gas gets there before you do.
These cars, of course, this one's named Pure Hell. And they are pure hell. The drivers that drive these had a lot of guts.
Yeah, I would say so. Incredible Edsel over here.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Throw in an Edsel.
Yeah. Yeah, when all else fails, drive an Edsel.
We kind of got things stacked up because we're expanding to the other side there.
And you got an audience up here watching, which is kind of nice. Yeah. Oh, there's Iski right there. That's great. Hey, Ken. Iski's up here in the window. More Willies. Am I going the right direction? Do we want to go this direction? And kind of loop around? Oh, is this a Valiant here?
Yeah, those are all people that actually were there. Yeah.
Oh, but the Valiant had similar body lines, didn't it? Oh, but the Valiant had the wheel in the background also. Look at this. This is just a really interesting design, and I think
these were called Ram Chargers.
Right.
That's the style.
Yeah, see, they had such great names back then. Now it's like numbers.
Yeah, pretty
You
much.
know?
Yeah. Number 22.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
This was a very famous race car from Wilmington, Tom Jacobson, and his California cotton fumigation. He raced this at Lyons for years.
Wow. So what is the status of the drag strip now? You know, I mean, is there people still drag racing?
Well, I think the only place you can now is Pomona.
Yeah.
And Irwindale is...
That's a quarter-mile track, right?
It's an 8th mile.
It's an 8th mile, yeah right.
And...
yeah, our buddy Bob Beck is the announcer at Irwindale. That's great.
Twin engine, twin Triumph.
Wow.
That's an actual bike that used to race at Lyons. It's owned by a fellow, John Stein. He's got it on loan here, but that's a real artifact that raced at Lyons on fuel.
Incredible. Yeah, there's so much history. And, you know, all these cases are just, you could spend hours and hours and hours.
You could.
And you still wouldn't appreciate it all because it's just so dense. Is there anything that you haven't done with the museum that you'd like to?
Well, more memorabilia.
Yeah.
You know, which we're preparing for. Some different exhibits, additional exhibits.
Now,
just, you know, describing our day back in the car culture. But
if next door suddenly got rid of their building, and they, would you expand and do a whole new building next door? No?
Anything's possible.
That's the kind of answer I like. Growth is imminent. Look at these dragsters. These are great. Is that
That's the original.
That's the car.
That's the original Stonewoods and Cook. With the front end they ran in 1961, sitting alongside of it. That's a steel front end. After that, they put a fiberglass front end.
We need to get Larry over here and hold his car up so that he can be right next to it. Can you grab him? Grab Larry? Is there, Rick, is there one prized possession that you have here, something that means the most to you?
Probably the Stonewoods and Cook.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's what got me started in Willys.
Yeah.
That's why I bought my first Willys.
Yeah.
I wanted to build one like that. Of course, I never got to it. But,
right.
But that's the prized possession.
Yeah. What is this here, this hood?
Well, a lot of people signed that. We got to get you on there.
Sure. You got a gold pen?
Do we have a gold pen?
It's right up there.
Oh, cool.
Oh, there it is.
Ready for you.
Okay. I'm going to hand this to you. Do I know how to spell my name? I sign right next to Chip. The thing about drawing is that you're never quite done. It just keeps going. Scotty, hey Scotty, can you come over here and get a shot of this? Come on over here and stand here with the car out, Larry, so we can get this in the background.
Should give you the grill, because that's the, well, we'll start there.
Yeah, just get a few. He's got the die-cast version of this.
Oh, that's one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah, get over right there.
Great stuff. I hope you guys are enjoying this as much as we are because, being car guys and being in the thick of it, being here, you still have to pinch yourself because it's an incredible place. And we have Rick Lorenzen to thank
beautiful picture
for creating amazing places like this where we all get to share. And if you guys make it to Southern California, this has got to be high on your list, much more than Disneyland, although that's a fun place too. But you may want to leave the kids at home this time and go out and hang out and see some of these great things. Let's check out this Edsel over here. Who?
Rick, his mic, get him with you.
Come on, you want to, we'll come this way? Do you want to go this way or this way?
We can go this way.
Let's go this way.
Go that way,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
If we can, let's get Lana and we'll talk about her 29 a little bit.
Yes. Is she with us?
Where's our Lana at? Lana, come on over here.
Lana's going to give us a scoop on her beauty here.
And actually, her father's very famous car.
This has a bit of a root beerness to it also. Is it a scratch and sniff?
I don't know. It's something Art Chrisman picked out for it. So this Art Chrisman engine, the car was my dad's first race car that he raced in the mid-50s. And it started out as my mom's everyday commuter, and she made the mistake and left it at my dad's gas station. And when she came home, my dad and Art had chopped it about 3 inches. So she's like, that's no longer my commuter. This is now your race car.
Yeah.
So he went racing with it, but it has a Chrysler in it.
He didn't even ask. He just went to town on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they'd had a few beers prior to, so he wasn't.
She did or he did?
He did.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, it's a great car. It raced the Orange County, LA circuit for many years. Did really well before he ended up graduating to the nitro cars.
So what's your daily driver?
A Ford Explorer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Carry a lot of stuff in it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Rick, what's your daily driver?
Tahoe.
What year?
Chevy Tahoe.
Which year?
2019.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Carry a lot more stuff in that. Yeah. I'm
The thing
amazed.
I remember about this car is the grill.
Yeah.
It was always coming off the drag strip with that grill coming at you.
Yeah, this is done. It was original. This is not the original grill, but it's a reproduction of the Von Dutch grill.
Yep. Wow. Great stuff. Beautiful. So much. I think my neck's getting sore from turning it so many
What's
times.
the story on this?
I think he's going towards Tom over here.
Oh.
Yeah, this. You want to talk about this one here? Yeah, that's the original 1940s 32 Highboy Roadster that they used to run on the dry lakes. It was restored by the Kennedy brothers out in Pomona. And this is really what they flew in those days. No roll bar, just a head cap and have at it.
Amazing. Incredible. More striping.
More striping.
Johnny Styles. There's some great striping right there. Like, I need to tell these guys what great striping is, but I like razzing them a bit.
50 Olds Coupe. 88, we built this here. Significant of a build in the late 1950s with the black, with the pinstriping and the white roll and tuck interior lowered. It's got a 324 tri-powered Olds in it, and it's just everything they did in the late 50s.
You know, it's interesting. The advice I got when I was early on designing cars came from a friend of mine, Sid Mead, who was my mentor. And Sid said, you know, when you go up to Art Center and you see a lot of the illustrations that the guys were doing, they would just draw the car, and that's it. And he says, but you never see a car like that. You always see a car reflecting its surroundings, right? And I always found it fascinating. I became obsessed with the idea of reflections. And you know, when you walk around a museum like this and you look at this car, I can see this green one reflecting in this, and I'm amazed that it's constantly shifting, constantly changing. If I were to squat down like this, I suddenly see the wheel and the tire. It's mirror-like, but what makes this black? Because you see the green, yet the car stays black. You see this green here, but it still reflects some of the orange and the lights and all these different things, and you begin to look at things differently. You know, it's like how many times you're driving on the freeway and you don't notice all these trees as you go by.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
And I think that the conscious mind tends to miss a lot of the things that the subconscious catches, you know?
Good point.
And when you come to a place like this, you see so much, but you'll miss so much. You can come back in a month and go like, wait, did I even walk through here? Because that wasn't here the last time. And it was, you know. Drive-in theater here. Yeah, what's this?
Who originally built this?
You originally bought this one?
This is actually a 46 Ford Custom. It's got a Carson top on it, which basically in those days, but it has a Lincoln Zephyr front end on it.
That's what changes everything.
Yeah, and
That is stunning.
Fadeaway fenders.
Look at all of that. Oh my God. Look at that. That's incredible.
Next, let me introduce you to Tom Elliott.
Tom, how are you? Fireball.
Good.
Thanks for hanging out with us today.
Yeah.
So, can you tell me something about this green one?
I can't tell you anything about this.
Okay. Which one?
I tell you about the Indy Cars.
Okay, the Indy Cars. Okay,
Which is an unusual thing for Rick's exhibit here, but Rick's a big supporter of the Long Beach Grand Prix.
Right. So why is this here then?
Well, this is a second place car from a 1996 Long Beach race, driven by Parker Johnstone. And the engine for the 96 Alex Zanardi is over there. That was given to me when I retired from Honda in 2005.
And what was your job at Honda?
Well, I was there 35 years, and 10 years of it I was president of Honda Performance Development, but I retired as executive vice president at Honda.
So anything that at Honda that was fast was under your gun?
Up till 2005, yes.
Yeah. Then it got slower.
No, I didn't get slower. It just got different. So, But no, we were very much committed to IndyCar racing, and this is just kind of where we started almost.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, it's another thing that you miss.
Being at the track.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been at the track plenty of times.
Right.
That's it.
At Long Beach, the only thing that's missing is the loud noise in our earplugs.
You?
Yeah. But if you look at this this mural, and you can see all the people's faces, and they're smiling and having a great time. I think I'm in there somewhere.
I'm in there.
Yeah.
I've been to almost every one.
Wait, there you are, Larry.
Yep.
Yeah. Who's that girl that you're standing with? There's two girls you're standing with here.
That's two of the Hot Wheels girls.
The twins, the Hot Wheels twins. Yeah, wow. Great olds. Look at this beautiful olds. The Futuramic. Look at this Futuramic. Why don't they call cars like that now? What do you think, Scotty?
We're just looking at the two greens.
You almost didn't have the words.
As a designer, he was looking at that green versus that green, and they're both amazing.
Yeah. This kind of has a milky greenness too, doesn't it? Like an emerald.
Yeah, there's a little bit more, well, certainly a lot more blue in it than that one. But to your point, I was trying to come up with the right words. But yeah, there's a milkiness or some sort of
It has kind of a pearl.
Exactly. Yeah. Like overlaid on it or something.
Yeah.
Really
It'd be tough to illustrate that.
Ooh,
But you could do
is that
it.
a challenge?
Of all the people, I know. That's right. So what are you working on right now? What car are you illustrating?
Oh, I could tell you, but then I'd have to kill you.
Oh, okay. But if you could do one of these cars, is there anything in particular that stood out for you today?
It's interesting is once I came in, I started looking like, all right, which ones do I want reference shots of? And there's just so much stuff here. But the room back there with all of the Hollywood cars, I think there's some really neat ones there. The T-Bird.
Oh, yeah.
And the Eldorado in particular, I think are really cool.
You like the big stuff?
Actually, what's funny is I love driving small cars, but cars of that era, there's just so much sheet metal that I think that they can be so much more sculptural than what we have today.
They're twice as long and they're all two doors.
Exactly. As God intended.
As God intended, right. There's a beautiful Pantera in this interesting mustardy, spicy mustard color. What's here's a Corvair. Is Tony walking around? Hey Tony, there's a Corvair over here for you. Oh, that's the way we came in. I got turned around. Is there Rick, besides the Willies, what else are you passionate about? Is there anything in particular that
There's a NASCAR back from 1966 that Fred Lorenzen drove at Daytona.
Original NASCAR.
And he's kind of my name is Frederick Lorenzen too,
Yeah,
so he's a cousin from way back.
Wow.
But that's the actual car that he drove.
Can you believe it? How fast were these going back then?
Oh, what did they? Not near what they do now.
Yeah.
Probably 160, 100.
Yeah. And when you got in an accident back then, it wasn't like how they crash nowadays.
Well,
You know?
no, not at all. And you have to get into it through the window. The doors are all bolted shut.
Yeah. Wow. Incredible. And then this is a, you have a club here also?
Replica of the Paddock Club at the Long Beach Grand Prix.
Oh, gotcha.
That's what we're symbolizing here.
Yeah.
The strip and.
Yeah. It's so cool how you have a painting that introduces the cars, and they come onto the track right here. You got a car that's coming around the corner, and then it goes off into the distance.
Yeah.
You know, I was wearing plugs the last time I was there, and that wasn't enough. You know, I still couldn't have conversations with people.
I
But,
lost my hearing there, I think.
Yeah.
Because I always sat right on the hairpin.
Yeah.
And no plugs.
Yeah.
You know, you get too macho then. You can't
Yeah.
wear plugs.
Right. Eventually you say what
And
a
of course,
lot.
Lions Dragstrip helped that too.
All right, and we're going to go back out the same way we came in?
Yes.
Expansion.
Yeah.
The-
Oh, we'll show you. Go through that door.
Yeah, let's go through that door. We want to see that new secret super special place.
Secret
This
special.
black door here?
Yeah.
Oh,
black
this
door.
is the top secret place
Black door.
that no one has seen. Lana is about to reveal this to us. You guys are seeing this for the first time. Are there donuts back there? Okay. All right.
Through the black door.
Ah. So you were hiding this from me. I said,
Oh, no.
if you got a new building.
We just had to. No, this. Yeah, we
This
just
is it?
added on. This
Yeah.
is going to be a banquet area,
Oh, I see. Okay.
and then we're going to have a Long Beach Marine Stadium, Ascot Park, represented here, as well as desert dry lakes racing.
Yeah, Dry Lakes Racing.
Yeah.
And,
So what's the ETA for this to be finished?
The main build out will be done sometime in September, but I'm not sure when we'll be able to be open to the public.
Okay.
So I know the construction, like you see, we're still putting in drop ceilings and lights.
Yeah.
So that will be until September.
Okay. But you're officially going to open in the fall at some
We're
point?
hoping, we're going to find out today. We have a board meeting this afternoon. We'll try to figure out what our opening plans are.
Okay.
Good timing.
Yeah, good timing. Yeah. And on average, you guys are open every day normally?
No, we're going to be open 3 days a week.
3 days a week.
Yes.
And how many visitors do you have per day usually?
We don't know. We never were able to open because our grand opening was in June of last year, and COVID closed us down. So we don't have numbers at this time.
Yeah, yeah. Well, hopefully this will send a lot. Okay, we're going back through here.
I was going to, speaking of numbers, I have an interesting question for you. All these vehicles, approximately how many horsepower combined do you have in that room?
Good question.
That's a very good question.
Wow. Did anybody pay attention to
Well-
math class for that? Yeah.
Think about that.
I will.
That could be a promo number.
Boy, that's going to be a big number.
Wow.
I do know that the largest number is something called Googleplex, and that would probably fall in line with that. You got him thinking now. Look at, you can see the wheels are turning in his head.
Yeah, I'm starting to think about that.
Like what could that possibly be? All right, we're heading back towards the theater. Each one of these photos on the wall. The floor is immaculate. You guys do a fantastic job at
Thank you.
maintaining everything. It's just stunning. And then, of course, we got some movie cars over here.
That's the Back to the Future Part 2 DeLorean.
Mr. Fusion on there.
It was built by the same people that actually built the movie car.
Ah,
And there still is a DeLorean dealership open in Huntington Beach.
really? No kidding.
Yeah.
Joff,
And they built it.
I have to tell Joff that because he's got a DeLorean, and if it breaks down, he needs to know where to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a Gran Torino we showed Clint Eastwood when he was here. He has the original one.
Right?
And this is built just like it.
Yeah. Great
And,
film.
He's got a couple other cars we're putting in here as well.
Okay. And then, of course, we have Christine. Have you guys seen?
Christine.
We don't want to get too close to her because she
Killer car.
tends to have a little bit of a
Little
temper.
fit, yeah.
Yeah.
I hear you knocking, but you can't come in.
That's right. Beautiful 56. And then we got the Bandit. 77? Was that year?
77, I think
Yeah.
so, yeah. Yeah.
Another great film. And then this Cadillac. What is this Cadillac from?
This is just a big
beautiful
Cadillac.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Something that Marilyn would have loved.
Yeah.
Eldorado.
It's the Eldorado Biarritz.
Eldorado Biarritz.
Yep.
That's a big difference.
Now we got a couple of these Cushmans at our museum. We take them. We do the Buellton Vintage Trailer Show that's up in Buellton once a year. David Neal runs that, and we get about 250, 300 vintage trailers for 4 days. And then we use these guys and roam around between the trailers. And I give out personal Fireball shots. I take Fireball whiskey and hand them out at 5 o'clock every day. Yeah, it's in my backpack, and I ride them around.
Your name brand, yes.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. There's some of the shops. We got a barber shop over here. We got a music store, a record store. And each one is just chock full of stuff. Guitars on the walls. I'm sure all collectible. But this is my favorite.
Yeah.
The hobby shop. Look at this.
A lot of models in there.
Did you build models as a kid?
No, I didn't.
You were too busy leaving it to Beaver.
I was sort of working, at the time.
Yeah.
But I have built some since. Which,
What were some of the cars that you experienced on the show on Leave It to Beaver?
oh, don't ask me that. I can't remember.
There was a jalopy. Remember that?
There was a jalopy. That was probably a 38 Ford or something like that.
Yeah. And was it you that was trying to build that with your dad? Is that what it was?
Yeah. And we both got frustrated. He said, "Go take this back."
And that was the episode.
That was it.
Yeah. A lot of fond memories. I was showing Tommy when we came over to pick you up. You have a complete set of Leave It to Beaver scripts.
Yeah.
And they all have notes from the director and all that stuff in
That's
there.
really cool.
Yeah.
That's invaluable.
Yeah, I would think so. Spectacular. Lauren is smiling over here. Are you coming over to talk to me?
Yes, I just want to say that, when I'm looking, this is one of the most magnificent car museums in the world. And I am so impressed, and we're so lucky. We're so fortunate to have people with vast amounts of wealth who can afford to create places like this for us.
Absolutely. The give here is extraordinary because you're not necessarily just giving people an opportunity to walk around, see cool cars. You're bringing back the memories that they have.
Yes.
You know, I don't know about you, but I didn't grow up driving Bugattis and Delahaye's. So I can go to the Peterson or the Mullen, and I can see a lot of great cars, but they're not relatable to me.
Sure.
But I can walk in here and I can say, oh, my dad had that one.
Yeah.
I had this, and the memories that it conjures.
That's what's so great about it. And all the stuff around. I mean, this is.
Oh my gosh!
Shops
Everything is so beautifully done.
Trying to
Thank
relive
you.
my childhood. Here, and that's
Well, you're helping everyone else do that.
And you're doing that, and everybody's
that's
digging it.
that's what's important.
Did you grow up in?
Yeah, I grew up in Wilmington, right next to Merle Lyons Dragstrip. That was actually in Wilmington then. And then my sister still lives in the same house there. So
Wow.
that's who our roots are.
Yeah. I want to build some of these model kits. I want to start right now. You know what? When I was sick, I used to pretend I was sick at home, so my mom would buy me a model kit. You know, it's amazing how good that makes you feel.
Yes.
You feel sick at home, you got a cold or something, suddenly you're building the model kit. You don't care about how sick you are, right? It's just
True.
that and Hot Wheels and anything else. Look at this incredible game room here. Somebody spilled their drink. Look at that, special effects. Wow, that's cool. Pool table. Look at the record collection over here. This is a full-on diner. This is the backside of the diner where the game room is. We got a bunch of pinball machines. Tony's getting ready to play. You know, I'm going to recommend, Rick, that you bring a bowling alley in.
Bowling alley.
A place where someone can actually throw a ball. Just one lane.
Oh, there's a little one.
There's
right there.
there's a little one, yeah.
Well, I had to be able to park cars on it though if we did that.
Oh, true. Yeah, bowling for cars.
These posters are amazing.
Yeah.
I was always amazed why Annette Funicello and the guy.
Frankie Avalon.
Frankie Avalon were presented as the beach crowd of California.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they'd ever been to the beach in their whole life.
They didn't.
And here I was a beach guy.
Yeah, yeah.
But when I got asked to do some of those, and I turned them down. What a stupid thing to do.
Oh, man.
I didn't think they were going to be anything that was really going to be.
Instead, you did a TV show that no one knows, right?
Yeah,
That's what you're telling me.
Well,
yeah. But you know when
okay.
you told me the story that when you were a kid, you would try it out for Leave It to Beaver, but you also got offered the Mickey Mouse Club and a Tarzan movie.
Yeah,
right.
Tarzan TV series.
Tarzan TV series. But you chose Leave It to Beaver because you thought that swinging from a tree would be kind of fun, but it was short-lived. You thought.
Yeah.
And then you weren't going to dance.
I didn't think anything. My mom thought everything. I just sat there and ate my hamburger and malt.
Yeah.
While she was explaining what she thought would be the best.
Yeah.
best
But
show
you
to
chose
do.
Leave It to Beaver, and it's affected people for.
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah. Yeah. Way to go. You know, Kathie Corner is a good friend of mine, and Kathie was the original Gidget in the movies.
Really?
The movies were written about. So Annette Funicello played her.
No,
and,
she didn't.
Sorry,
Deborah Wallin.
Exactly.
But who was the real one that played her? The first one. Sandra Dee.
Sandra Dee, right. But what Kathie mentioned is that her dad wrote a book about her, and she didn't surf. She said that she went to the beach because she wanted to hang out with the dudes.
Yeah, well,
that was
why
it.
not? I like
She
that.
just wanted to go and hang out
We
with
go
the
because
guys
you
and
hang out with the girls.
Yeah.
But I mean, look at all these movies that beach movies that are infiltrated by all these.
You want to know what's interesting about
Easterners.
about that poster right there? That name at the bottom says Anthony Lawrence. That's my dad.
Serious?
Yeah.
Really?
My dad wrote 3 Elvis movies, and that was one of them.
Beautiful.
And that was directed by John Rich? Huh. He went on to become like one of the top 4-camera guys in Hollywood.
Wow. Amazing stuff. Are you a big Elvis fan?
Pardon me?
Are you an Elvis fan?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Big time.
Yeah. There was a movie in the 80s that my dad wrote with where Kurt Russell played Elvis. Do you remember that?
I remember, yes.
Yeah, it was a TV movie, but
Yes.
really great. Are these all playable?
Yes. Yeah.
Got to toss a quarter in there, though, right?
Well, I got to turn them on first.
Yeah, that's okay. Are we going to go this way? Okay. Oh, look at this furniture. Candy, hot dogs. Look at this Zero Bar, 5th Avenue. Now, you've had many parties here,
Yes.
right? And it's treated like a regular diner.
Yeah, pretty much.
So you'd bring
we have a full-on kitchen in the back.
Okay.
So this is kind of where it's served here. you know.
Right. But would you get a caterer to come in and...
They
and-
could, yes, have done that, yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
But yeah, we've had a lot of events here.
yeah. Fantastic.
Various organizations,
It just
charities.
It just keeps going. It keeps going. How you guys doing? You still watching?
We still have 54 people that are actively on board right now.
Okay. All right.
Which is hot for this
It's
long event.
yeah,
broadcast.
amazing stuff. Here's a this is the one that goes in the water, right?
Amphicar.
Amphicars.
Yeah.
This was another car that we did for the Dennis Gage coloring book. His book is called Orphans and Oddballs, and he's fascinated by cars that were one-off builds and cars that were really strange. You know, so he picked the Helicron. He picked this car.
This was built in Germany in 1962.
Wow. I remember seeing an event where they had about 30 or 40 of these, and they all went in the lake together at the same time.
Yeah.
Great stuff. All right, so we're kind of wrapping things up down this last corridor. We got a beautiful little Nash, and there's a place up in L.A. that builds these. What's it called? The Metropolitan Pit Stop.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. So if you have a Nash Metropolitan, not all of them are Nashes, or are they?
This was built in England.
Okay, so I think
No,
things
I don't know.
changed.
Yeah.
Right, I think they. Right. So, but if you have one of these, there's a place in LA called the Metropolitan Pit Stop. It's got a tiny little museum, that's probably as big as maybe just this section right here, but it's filled with these cars. Because they're
Really?
so tiny, they can fit in there.
We have 3 foreign cars in here. England, Germany, and the Delorean. Ireland.
Right, there you go.
That's it.
That's it.
This is one of the first cars we built here. 50
Wow.
Oldsmobile Holiday hardtop.
Gorgeous. Yep.
Built
stunning.
it from parts I've had for years. And we
It's
put it together
just
here.
beautiful.
Red wine, beautiful color.
Stunning.
It's called red wine.
And it certainly is.
There's a picture. Looks as good underneath as it does on top.
Yeah. Now, how often do you take these things out?
Lately, not very often
Yeah.
because there's no car shows.
Yeah.
But we've had them out.
Yeah.
This is one we take out. There's a plexiglass hood for this
Oh, yeah, look at that.
that they used to show at the Motoramas back in the early 50s so they could show off their V8 motor because
Yeah.
that was the first V8 out.
Right.
So they would put a plexiglass hood on there that you could see through.
Yeah. Spectacular. So much history. You don't realize how much has been done over the years, that each manufacturer not only manufactured a number of each car, but the trims and some of them were so rare that there's still, and I'm sure, for being a car guy as long as you have been, that there's still things that show up that you've never seen.
Definitely, exactly, sure.
Chrysler, look at this.
These Woodies here.
Yep.
That one belonged to Wooden Car, who has just passed away.
Ah.
That was his. This one
Look how
is a
big that is.
49.
It's as big as your Suburban outside, your Tahoe.
Oh, nice. That's
Yeah.
67 Olds 442 W30.
Yep.
I bought one new in 1967.
Wow.
But I lost it in a divorce. So I had to go find
That's
this
a common
one.
story.
Yeah. I don't know why.
I think that's because the wives, the ex-wives, know that you love the cars, so they get you. Yeah, they want it when they get you. They take it out on the cars themselves.
63 Impala 409.
Great stuff.
Factory fuel injected 57 Chevy. 3 on the tree shifting.
Wow.
Very rare car.
That color is kind of a cerulean blue. It's a
Call it Harbor Blue.
Yeah, it's really unusual. Rarely does filming appreciate the colors in these things. But if you guys research some of these colors, that's why it's important. I like to give you guys some of the specs on what the colors are, because when you see them in real life, it's vastly different. Very deep, and color is known for enhancing emotion in some things. It's the reason that when you get arrested, as I know, they put you in either a green or a pink room, kind of keep you calm, right?
I guess so.
I don't want to reveal too much of myself,
No,
but yeah.
So we're kind of right back to where we started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spectacular. Everyone's kind of walking around enjoying themselves. And
34 Ford Vicky, we built that here. This green one.
Yep. So where do the cars get built here?
Out back.
Out back. You have a full shop back out there. Yeah. Okay. And that's where, if you have any issues with any of the cars, they go back there, and you have a team of guys that.
If you want to take a walk back there, you can.
Is that something you want to do?
Well, let's wrap this up.
Okay.
And if battery power is enough.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay.
We'll still go, and then if we get it, it's bonus.
Let's get some final thoughts. Larry Wood, what do you think?
Wow, this is quite a collection of stuff, I'll tell you. It's full size compared to the 64th, so this is really impressive.
Yeah. So, but if you were to blow your garage up to full size, it would be about this big, wouldn't it?
It'd be a lot bigger, but I can afford the 64th.
That's right. Pep, what do you think?
Totally blown away. Everything is just so clean and so perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the pieces here, of course, some muscle cars.
Yeah.
I need those. Yeah. But yeah, this is please come. You know, as soon as they open, you guys have to experience this. It's amazing.
Fantastic. Scotty Martin, what do you think?
I would take any of these cars right now, drive it right off the lot, especially the ones with wood.
Yeah.
I'm partial to that. The Woody out there, the one right here behind us that is on screen.
Yeah. Rick, if you need any help with absolutely anything, you know, driving or
do I need help?
Yeah, if you need help for some reason that
We just might do that.
yeah, I think we would all volunteer.
Can I call you if we need some help when there's some car shows?
Of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do a
We do quite
cruise
often.
of all your cars somewhere.
When we have car shows again.
Yeah. Well, it's starting to come back. I mean, we have a Cars and Coffee we do at our museum, at the Murphy Museum. Very successful show. I think it might be maybe a little bit different down here, but there's a show in Malibu that's kind of nuts. So if you guys ever want to come up, we are doing those. I think Donut Derelicts is still going on.
It's still going on.
Yeah.
And we're hoping once we're open, we're going to do a Saturday car show here as well. So we'll be open on Saturdays and have different clubs meet.
If you do Saturdays, we'll be here.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Look forward to it.
Absolutely. MC, what do you think?
I think it's absolutely incredible. One of the biggest things is the fact that you see the passion throughout. There's a purpose for every view.
Tommy Scalera, I don't know, man. It's just overwhelming.
This is overwhelming. It's absolutely beautiful in the way they immerse you in the environment and the neon work and the signage, backdrops. The dioramas are gorgeous. It's really a phenomenal museum.
Yeah, we're going to do our best to, this is just one of some of the things that we can do, but I think each one of us is going to go out to our prospective audiences, let people know, and when the trigger gets pulled, to be able to come back, I think it's going to be a fantastic place.
I thank Rob. Rob had a lot to do with this whole setup and
Thank you,
what we
Rob.
built here.
Nice meeting you.
It was
Very nice to meet you.
Back anytime.
Well, yeah, you might get sick of us after a while.
That's good.
Yeah.
Never get sick of you.
Yeah. Tony and Lauren, you guys, any final thoughts about the museum other than you guys having an issue with which car you're going to take home?
Anyway, no, we'll be back and we'll be bringing friends and family. 'Cause
This is truly amazing. I mean, it takes you back to I was a kid in the 50s and 60s. And especially all the, like you say, the dioramas and all the things that are built, the shops.
Yeah.
Anyway, did I interrupt you?
I do that.
There's a lot of distraction going on here. Yeah, with the cars. Jaw Fumbao, final thoughts. What do you think, man? You're stealing reference photos for your illustrations. Yeah. I'm not supposed to tell. But
it's fantastic. Just great to be able to see all of this stuff that you rarely ever get to see, even here in Southern Cal, right?
Oh yeah, incredible.
Yeah, fantastic.
So on behalf of us, as our group that came in, Lana, I want to thank you and Rick and the gentlemen that have given us such great stories. Thank you so much for allowing us to come in here. I'll give you a hug.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And what an amazing trip. Rick, come on over here. Any final words from you guys? Are you doing exactly what you love?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
This is it. This is what I've always wanted to do, and it really became important a few years ago once we started it.
Yeah. Absolutely. We have a lot of choices in life, and I believe that we are a reflection of the quality of our choices. And the neat thing about car people is that it doesn't matter what color you are, it doesn't matter what financial status you're in, it doesn't matter where you live in the world. If you love cars, we're one big family. And we appreciate so much you allowing us to come and join with all that.
I hope you come back soon.
Oh, we will, especially with you guys. Big thanks to Mikael, and all of you guys that have been watching for the last hour or more to see some of these things. We hope that you'll take this idea, the cars that you're building, the things that you're doing, and get out there and share them, because it's not all about us. It's about the ways in which we can give to others and improve our lives in that way. So thank you very much for watching. And
no problem. And if you hang out, we're going to run this camera all the way down the battery out, hanging out a little bit in the workshop where you guys build this.
Okay, sure.
Okay, we'll take a quick walk over there?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. Let's do
That's
that.
the bonus part of
Yeah,
this.
this
And
is,
thank you, everybody,
Ken's going to like this. Yeah. We're going to walk over to the shop real quick. Yeah, and I think you should put Ken to work. because
Thank you so much.
he kind of starts having a little withdrawals if he can't build something.
Special tour.
Yeah.
Come back, okay?
We'll be back.
We're always here. Okay. Oh.
The whole group wants to come, but we'll see.
Oh yeah. Yeah. This is something that definitely most people will not be able to see here at the Lions Drag Strip. Is behind the scenes.
Thank you.
The door's even locked. Yeah. They're not even letting the guys that are here.
That is very important. Yeah. Got to keep going.
Yeah. There's a retina scan. There's a blood scan. You got to poke your finger. Okay. You got to get these guys.
Where do you guys live now?
All right. Come on, everybody.
okay.
We're going to go into the shop.
I'm still living in Long Beach.
When he's on the mic, you're on the mic.
Yeah.
It's really confusing.
Okay.
So don't say anything nasty.
Yeah. Okay. We're going to go in. We're going to build something today.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's still build it.
Gonna get there. Wow.
Yes. Do you want it?
There we go. Let's start over here.
This is it's a 1937 Cord 812 Cabriolet. It's under full restoration right now. We're just finishing the engine of it. But as you see, we're just finishing the plumbing here, getting ready to put the engine in it. It's a very rare model Cord. Pretty much everything in this room is
And
related
where
to
was this found?
We found this up in
LA. Bought it from a cord collector up there. Yeah.
Beverly Hills, I believe.
Yeah. And it was in a certain condition. You guys have just taken it all the way down?
All the way from scratch.
And this is the way most of the cars are done?
Frame up.
Frame up.
Yeah. So it's a nut and bolt restoration. Everything is new, rebuilt, and so on. So, and this will be correct to original condition. So it's a full restoration.
Yeah.
This was a supercharged model. It had the supercharger on it. Car way ahead of its time.
Where do you get parts?
Every